UFC 106. I almost missed this. I got a wedding to go to. It was either this or Shave Man, so I figured, fuck it, I'll just make the video. I don't care. I'll pull ass either way. It's not really a big deal. First fight on the card, AMIR SADOLLAH versus Phil Baroni. Phil Baroni got a lot of people in his corner for this fight. Everybody wants Phil Baroni. So I hate to say it, if this was 5 years ago, I'd go for Phil Baroni. But I've been wrong probably about the last 4 or 5 times I picked Phil Baroni. And I think it's time I admit to myself that he is not as explosive as he used to be. His speed, he didn't really bring it down to the 170 division. And his power, if anything, he lost a little bit of it. I think AMIR going to win this fight on the stand-up. If he get a TKO, I'd be surprised. But I think he's going to play it safe and take it to a decision and pick and choose when he's going to punch Phil Baroni in the face. There's a good chance Phil Baroni could have a good first round and almost finish it. But after AMIR's last loss, he got a little something to prove. And that's going to be what gets him through the eye of the storm, is what I feel. So I'm going to have to go with AMIR SADOLLAH on technicality. Unanimous decision. LUIZ versus Antonio ROGERIO, not to be mixed up with Rodrigo NOGUEIRA. Okay, MINOTAURO, not to be mixed up with MINOTAURO. Very confusing, guys. But once you figure it out, you don't forget it. People was very unfamiliar with NOGUEIRA, but if you're familiar with big NOGUEIRA, then you're familiar with a little NOGUEIRA. Except I think ROGERIO has more years left in his gas tank. LUIZ, he's a big Brazilian dude. LUIZ gonna come out punching. I'm almost 100% sure of that. He's gonna try and take out NOGUEIRA on the feet because he got a better chance of that than on the ground. He's gonna trust his striking over NOGUEIRA's, which will be 50-50 because NOGUEIRA got a good stand-up, very good stand-up. They boxers back in Brazil, so everybody always forgets that when they get in a fight with them. I don't know why. I see NOGUEIRA dropping Kane on the feet, submitting him on the ground, and if he don't get the submission, he's gonna get the unanimous decision, and there will be another NOGUEIRA in UFC, and another fighter in the 205 that I predict would beat Machida. Josh KOSCHECK versus Anthony Johnson. Like people going with Baroni, bigger, stronger guy. They taking the same route with Anthony Johnson, bigger, stronger guy. Although I think Anthony Johnson got more credibility to stand up. He taller, got a longer reach, a lot faster. I still don't think he's gonna win this fight. I think KOSCHECK gonna get him on the ground, and I think Anthony Johnson gonna be a turtle on his back. I just don't see him having the ground game to offset KOSCHECK's wrestling, because unless he knock him out in the first minute or two, KOSCHECK gonna take him to the ground. KOSCHECK got one of the fastest shots in the game. He's one of the best wrestlers in the game, and I think that will be enough to ride out a unanimous decision against Anthony Johnson. Very obvious what Anthony gonna come out and try and do. Unless his takedown defense is superb, it's not gonna stay on the feet too long. Quite possibly could be a real boring fight if you ask me. I think Anthony Johnson trying to make weight will be more exciting than the fight. If I had to pick, he's gonna have trouble making weight again. Everybody knows it. Everybody get ready to talk about that one. TITO ORTIZ versus FORREST GRIFFIN. What they trying to market to us as a main event, so I won't title it main event. It's more of like a grudge match. I accept it as a super fight. You guys remember the super fights back in the day? Super fight is like a mini main event inside like those tournament style UFCs. It's basically the two guys everybody wants to see kick each other's ass. And anyone who says I said this fight wasn't going to be exciting is reading too much into what I say. I didn't say this fight wasn't going to be exciting. I didn't say I didn't like TITO ORTIZ. I don't think he's that smart and good of a representative for MMA. But that don't mean I don't like him. It just means I'll bag on him anytime he does something really stupid. That's basically what that means. TITO ORTIZ, 0-2-1 his last 3 fights. I already said it. You guys already know it. FORREST GRIFFIN, 0-2, coming off a terrible performance against Anderson Silva. I see FORREST GRIFFIN having a better comeback than TITO ORTIZ. Tito has been out of the octagon for like, I don't know, 2 years probably a year and a half, and he's going to have a little rust. Not to mention he going out with Jenna Jameson. You know he been partying. That don't add up for a great comeback. He gonna find out that once you progress in years and enough partying, you can train as good as you think you want, but it won't add up to an effective performance. partner will catch up to you, and if you don't get that shit in check, you ain't gonna be that athletic as you thought you were. Basically, I see Forrest Griffin coming out swinging. He gonna want to prove everybody wrong. He gonna want to get those guys who jumped off the bandwagon back on. He gonna have probably one of the best performances of his career. We all know what Tito gonna do. He's gonna try and take Forrest down, but that's gonna be after the fact he tries his stand up, because he trained with Freddie Roach, and so he gonna think he got some effective stand up, and he gonna want to throw him with Forrest Griffin, like, look what I got. I got new tools in my bag. And then pop in the head, and then he dropped down like, fuck this, I'm going to the ground. Same story every time with Tito. Freddie Roach, a great trainer, but even the greatest trainer can't give Tito Ortiz hands in 3 months. The greatest trainer can't give Tito Ortiz hands in a year. He punches with his muscles. You know what I'm saying? You got to punch with your skeleton, from the toes to the end of your fist. Tito just wasn't really born with it. He needed to go back and start all over and reconstruct his whole fighting stance if he wanted to know how to throw a punch. Now, having gone into that a little too much, like I said, he's going to try and take down Forrest Griffin. Not going to work. Like I said, Forrest pissed. He was embarrassed. His hands are going to be on fire, and he's going to get a first or second round knockout. And everybody who posted on all the MMA websites for Tito Ortiz will immediately backstep on out. And it's go. I feel bad for Tito. You know what I mean? Because everybody's gonna jump off his bandwagon if he gets knocked out, and I'll probably be the only one defending him, saying like, "Damn, you guys were nut hugging too bad. That's why you're so mad." Anyway, whatever. What fucking time is it? Forrest Griffin, most likely a second round knockout. Do what you want. I'm out. The fight for mankind.